Welcome to Vol Stars, a GammaStrike production.
Welcome to Vol Stars, where we talk everything markets and those who make them. Today's episode is brought to you by Grayscale, who's filed for the first U.S. exchange-traded fund for WorldCoin. What's WorldCoin? Well, have you heard of Trump Coin? It's like that, but by Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. WorldCoin forever enshrines the colorful ring in your eye on the blockchain, serving as biometric proof that you are a human in a world saturated with AI bots. You know, the things that can't identify pictures of fire hydrants. And because we are creating an ETF regulated by the SEC, it's definitely not a scam. As a not scam, you definitely shouldn't find a world orb, pull down your pants, and wink that beautiful brown-colored ring on the lens, leaving the hint of residue on the glass and a timeless memento for Sam on his blockchain. Grayscale, what if people just stopped pretending their financial instruments weren't fraud? And finally, by GammaStrike.com, providing actual real-time data for every type of trader. You've tried the rest, now try the best. GammaStrike.com. I'm Jay Fresh, and I'm joined by our co-hosts, Gherkin and Dork. Let's get into the market overview. All right, so we've got a couple of different topics this week, thank God. But before we get into those, do we want to talk a little bit very quickly about the current situation as it stands as of 5:27 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, July 26, 2026 in the Strait of Hormuz? Is it open or is it closed?
It's closed right now. Well, closed, almost closed. I mean,
Clopen.
There's some ships going in. Clopen. I like that.
Clopen.
Yeah.
Clopen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
it's open in spirit.
Yeah. I mean, Iran's beating the same drum. Fuck you. It's our strait. You can't touch it. And then Trump has gotten it from General Kane that we're out of missiles. He's got no more missiles to shoot at Iran. He's used all the missiles, shooting down $35 Alibaba drones with hand grenades duct taped to them. And those missiles are $4 million a piece. They take a few months to make. And so we've got a bit of a problem. And then all of our so now they're letting more strikes and drones through. So I mean, if Iran were to want to escalate the war at this point, they definitely could, and in a far more effective fashion. They do have a significant amount of leverage going into any negotiations right now because oil prices are high. But I think the real tell that we're looking for here is, when does Trump's taco fail? When does the market say, nope, shit's gone too far? And we'll find out in 32 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, right? I mean, we all know that the market is top of mind for everybody in this administration, not only just for their own personal grift, but just for bragging rights, I guess. They just seem to have this unhealthy obsession with number go up. I guess we all kind of have an unhealthy obsession with number go up. Which we've talked about extensively on this show in terms of leverage and things like that. But yeah, I think when I said back in, it was either the end of March or the end of April, when people were like, or middle of April, when people were like, it's going to be reopened by the end of the month. And I was saying back then, the strait doesn't open until the market crashes. And here we are, July, almost August, and the market still hasn't crashed and the strait's still not open. So it'll be interesting to see if I'm correct. But so, I mean, what I was going for there was that he's not going to put himself on the line and take all that risk until his own personal reputation feels attacked. And I think if the market went down, he would be so personally offended by it that I'm not sure what he would do, but I think that would be like I think that would be a pivotal point for him to kind of become even more unhinged.
Well, he needs to. I mean, he should. I said this like what was it been 2 months now? He should have just nuked it. I'm gonna say it every week until he nukes Iran.
Stop it! That's not going to be good. I know people who have family in Iran. I don't want.
So do I. I don't want it nuked either. But like, this is the old. He's stuck his dick into a bear trap without thinking. And, you know, I'm not saying Trump's ever thought about what he stuck his dick into, but he definitely didn't do it this time either. And, you know, it's a problem, right? He's got a bear trap on his penis, on his.
Should we go down the list?
Kind of small that he penis. Paid what?
Children on an island. What else is he?
What things?
Aspirationally, probably in his dreams, his own daughter.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, the list is longer than that, but I feel like we need to stop there because that's a pretty exclusive list. I don't think there's that many people that would be on that list. Ron is like, let's keep going, but no, I think it's important.
I think we could just stop at, you know, rampant and blatant pedophilia.
Yeah.
It's okay, Ron. You can share a cell with me. We'll be buddies.
What I'm trying to say is, don't forget that the whole reason.
No, we still won't be Epstein buddies, and that's why we win.
Doesn't matter. You'll share a cell together and you'll hang yourselves. That's how it works, right?
Don't.
We're low on the list. It takes time.
I'm gonna bring it back here. I promise. The only reason that Trump stuck his dick in the bear trap was to deflect attention from his rampant pedophilia.
And well, not just him and everyone he's ever known or come in contact with on a regular basis.
Yes. I think it's important. I think
it's very important that we point out that all of the people in the Epstein files seem to be running our government.
Yes.
All of them. And they've all been redacted.
And once we resolve this, if we ever do, we need to actually get some closure on it. We can't. I feel like this is a thread we can't leave unraveled. we need to chase down this. Like, if there's one thread I could pick that would be like, hey, let's not let this one go. Probably this one.
A federal judge ordered that the DOJ show him the unredacted Epstein files. Specifically the redacted parts. So that'll be interesting. Although, you know, because in the foresight of our founding fathers, he has zero power to enforce his ruling. It would be interesting if Todd Blanche got scared enough of his own ass that he threw Trump under the bus.
Yes.
Okay. So
wait, there was an important other thing.
What was
the strait will never open unless Trump nukes Iran.
Wait, are you saying that in guerrilla warfare, the guerrillas usually win because
in a war of attrition,
because of the asymmetry and cost?
Yeah, the country that trades a $35 Alibaba drone for a $4 million Patriot missile is the winner. And the other thing attrition. Yes, I said that. I said in a war of attrition.
God
damn it, Dork.
A guerrilla war. And I was like,
that's like
which kind of gorilla?
My joke. No, I didn't. He said gorilla. I never said.
Oh, sorry. I'm just so much going on here.
No, and I wanted to say the reason the administration like brings up the market all the time is because they don't have anything else to like pound. It's like the market is the proverbial table, right? Like if you don't have the facts, or if you have the facts on your side, you pound the facts. If you have the law on your side, you pound the law. And if you have neither the facts or the law, you pound the table. Yeah. The market's the table. Because they don't have anything else. Like gas prices are through the roof, consumer sentiment's in the fucking garbage. All of our hyperscalers are indebting themselves into oblivion, and destroying the future of the American tech industry right now. So I mean, it's just, yeah, the market's the last thing that they can point to and go, look at what we're doing, because everything else they're doing is dog shit.
I mean, yeah, we could do we talk
It's not
about
like they're going to be like, oh, hey, we just got a new approval to erode some more of your civil liberties. That's not going to be a press conference.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So just I wanted to remind people of one of the greatest examples of this war of attrition, where you have just this monstrous force that just gets beaten down and ends up losing essentially to themselves. None other than, was it Menard's map? The Napoleon push into Russia. I posted this chart so people can, yeah, it's called Menard's map, and it was featured in Edward Tuff's Visual Representations, which is an excellent book.
Yes,
Dork, you would like it because it does talk about minimalism in data representation and things like that, which I feel like is part of your aesthetic. But
absolutely.
So this chart is famous because it shows a ton of information visually, very simply, and it's very visually intuitive without needing to explain itself. Basically the thickness, the color shows whether they're going into the territory or retreating, and then the thickness of the line tells you the relative size of the army that's traveling in. So you can just see as they travel east towards into the cold, they just get
like 50% by the time they hit
shit.
Minx.
This is a fascinating chart, JFresh. Thank you for this. This is amazing.
Are you being serious?
Yes. No.
Okay.
It just clicked to me what it means, and I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a geographical like map, but it's like,
and it's geographic. It's telling you, the size of the army
and the relevant ambient temperature.
Yep. Yeah.
What's the black line?
Black line is just retreating, going back. So you can actually see that there's a small group. There's like this little finger of people that peeled off early.
Well, I mean, there's no time on this chart. I think that's the one thing that's missing. So they're probably on their way as reinforcements, and then they're like, "Fuck, we're turning around." Okay, fucking turn back around.
No, I think they peeled off.
I don't think they turned around. I think they held positioning.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like reserves, cool reserve force. Yeah, that was a sick chart.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you make one for Iran?
Well,
because there's going to be a really short line. There's going to be Trump nosediving into the coast of Iran.
Well, I mean, I think a similar dynamic played out with England and the New World, right? And I mean, even a similar dynamic played out with us in various places in the East and the middle abouts therein.
Or Vietnam.
And yep. That's part of the East. And then, and I would say we're about to make this blunder again, this timeless blunder, that the physical and economic cost of pushing into another space far away from you puts you at a severe disadvantage. So, yeah. And I look at, I think it's something like 1,200 missiles have been expended at $4 million a pop. So that's what, like nearly $5 billion, which after the budget cuts to the NSF is almost the entire yearly budget of the National Science Foundation of our country.
Nice.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude.
It's okay. We didn't need that shit anyway.
The budget for the National Science Foundation is just in excess of $8 billion, but they took at least $1.5 billion of that and earmarked it for fraud, and so that traditional institutions couldn't touch it. So it's closer to like $6 billion. So yeah, pretty close. Also, this is a great time to remind our one listener that the United States military has never passed an audit in modern times.
But they need more money.
Lots more money.
Mm-hmm.
500 billion more than they even asked for.
Wait,
No
what's
shit.
that? What we're gonna do? Can I do a unit switch? How many NSFs is that?
That is a lot of NSFs.
How
It's
many
like
40,
NSFs
50?
and departments of education is that?
Yeah, and departments of education, please. I need NSF plus DOEs. Can we get it in that? Is it like 20 of them?
Department of Education's a little bit different because education is so local, and like funding comes from all levels. I
Yeah.
don't know even how I certainly don't love the strategies that are being taken in dismantling the federal Department of Education, but to me it's less, I mean, I think in that case where you have something that's so personal, where you need to just link up good teachers with students in the areas where they are, that the centralization of that is probably a bad thing overall. But
Well, as a person who was no child left behinded, let me tell you, it didn't really work out that great. I'm pretty sure it was
I
an
mean,
abject
all we
failure.
really got from the centralization of education was the burden of measuring it at a centralized scale, and the only way that they came up with to tractably perform that was standardized testing, which I can tell you right now, standardized testing is probably one of the most damaging things that we've decided to do as a country. Thanks, George W. Bush.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember, dude. Every year it was like when standardized testing time came around, it was like a month of just practicing for the standardized test and just like all the types of questions they ask and all that shit. That was all we did was educate around that, and like it's one of those. What's the when a metric becomes a target, it ceases to be a good metric. That's a classic case of that. Like
Yeah.
I didn't learn shit from it. I just learned how to read questions and answer them.
Yeah, so we've gotten pretty far off topic here, so I want to veer us back.
Oh,
and that's
war of attrition.
mostly my fault. Yeah, but well, war of attrition and the cost of fighting the asymmetric warfare, right? I mean, Girk made a joke about the $32 drone from Alibaba, but that is part of the successful strategy in a war of attrition, which is find the cheapest way to burn your opponent's money.
Yep. Yeah, back in the day, it was burning villages.
Yeah.
And when you do that against a democratic country, you also burn their political capital.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of making this graph for Iran.
Oh,
Are you asking Claude?
No, not at all. I'm just making it by hand in MS Paint.
Okay, excellent. MS Paint. That's the
gentleman's
yeah.
illustration software.
Edward Tuft would be very proud.
Yeah, what was the name of that book, Jay Fresh? I gotta get it.
Visual Explanations.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna get that fucking book. Okay. So the Strait is cloping. We've got how much time? We have 15 minutes till we find out what the market thinks the Strait is doing. So that's fun. We've got a bunch of fun shit in the headlines as well, which is great. Yeah. So I guess it's anybody's guess what the hell's going on. I mean, yields are telling me that bond market isn't too stoked on what's going on right now.
So Dork, since I just gave you the visual explanations, I would say if you're going to buy one Edward Tuft book, buy The Visual Display of Quantitative Information.
The visual display of quantitative information. Pop that up here.
I think you'll maybe appreciate that flavor a little bit more. I mean, you read any of his books and you'll get his aesthetic.
Okay. There we go. I got some reading to do now. Thank you. I haven't had much good reading lately, so I appreciate
Yeah. Oh,
that.
it's a classic. It's a classic. You gotta I feel like we should get a copy for everybody on the quant team.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. And one for Girk too.
Oh yeah,
Get it?
get him to yeah.
I'm just joking. Okay, speaking of visual display of quantitative information that has to do with all this too. I got some TA.
Ew.
Oh yeah,
What are you
it's
doing?
TA
What
on
is
the
that?
fucking 10-year too.
Is this the yield? I can't
Yeah.
see.
If I didn't put a ticker on there, you would think that's bullish.
Oh yeah. I mean, what's it at? I can't even see it.
It's at 4.7 basically on the nose.
Yeah, well, that's probably a big reason why Trump has, tentatively decided to halt the next round of fighting over there.
Oh yeah, and I'm about to do some fun stuff. I'm gonna make another fun little display of information as well. Let me see if I can find that on here. 10-year.
Well, while you're looking up that, and we're talking about the economic impact of whatever it is that we're doing over in Iran, we now have to deal with more tariff drama coming up. Does anybody have any details on what that is? It kind of looks like it's just tariffs round 2. He's trying to see what he can get away with.
So it seems like. I mean, I think he's trying to make more headlines, right? I mean, something that isn't having to do with the fact that, we may just accidentally slam headfirst into a repeat of the 70s in terms of gas. So,
yeah, I think we've definitely hit a period of almost like hubris about nothing ever happens. I mean, it was a meme for a while, but now everyone's just kind of like, maybe everyone is a panicking. Maybe you need to chill out and we can just do whatever we want and there's no consequences.
yeah.
That mentality always scares me because it usually means that we have been making bad decisions for a while now, and so when we do get consequences, they're going to be worse than they would have otherwise been. So
Yeah.
I'm always hesitant when I don't like that way of thinking. I'm more of like a cat. My senses are always, on high alert, looking for advantages and disadvantages and making sure that I'm not overstepping or taking too much risk and trying to be careful. But yeah. So we got tariffs. I guess we've always kind of had tariffs. That's the thing. Nobody really knows what the tariffs are. And what they aren't anymore, and who's gotten reimbursements, and it's all just kind of, I don't know, a shit show. But yeah. Any thoughts on the tariffs, or should we move on?
I mean, we'll see how they stand up. I mean, obviously they're going to be disputed in the courts. So
yeah, I think they've
and
already gotten lawsuits.
Yeah, and the last round of them was, obviously heavily disputed in the courts. So
just more uncertainty.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so I think one of the things about the last round of tariffs, I think what a lot of people sort of took away from that was we all paid the tariffs to the companies who passed on the cost to us, and now they're all getting rebates, but not us. And so I think that kind of plays into the larger picture of the strength of the consumer. And I know Dork's got some fun little graphs. His
about the consumer.
literal
it's the collective
anecdata.
It's the collective anecdata of society. Okay. This is their story, JFresh. Why do you not want to tell their story?
What is the story that you're trying to tell?
Oh, about the American consumer? I mean, by and large, their life is pretty fucking awful.
Tell me more.
Here. So I'm just going to start throwing these at the bottom so they don't get lost. But We were just screwing around, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done it in a while. I'm going to go on Google Trends. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Google Trends is a little tool Google provides where you can actually go and see the relative popularity of certain search terms over certain spans of time. So you go in there, you throw in a search term like, I don't know, fried chicken, and you watch it go up and down and up and down and all these things. And, so we start putting in some interesting search terms. The first one I'm going to throw up is called how to get hired. And if you notice, we have been on an upward trajectory ever since roughly 2022. And we are at peak popularity over the last 20 years. So over the last 20 years, it has never been more popular to search for how to get hired. So people are trying to find out how to get hired. That is an interesting one. It seems to be that jobs are not exactly super plentiful for people to get. And
yeah, I think with that one, and we've talked about this a lot on the the pod here, whatever you want to call this. It unemployment's low, but the liquidity is low, right? So like there are jobs and people have them, but changing jobs or finding a new job, making, the square peg fit the round hole is difficult to do because turnover is so low. There's not like an excess of jobs.
yeah, okay, I can see that.
So it could be a measure of how difficult it is to find the job, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people aren't ultimately finding jobs.
I mean, we
It's
have
just
plenty
gotten
of
a lot
anecdata.
harder.
Yeah, we've gotten plenty of anecdata of people putting in hundreds of applications.
Oh, yeah.
So hundreds of applications going out and not being able to get anybody to hire them.
That's because the system's broken, though. I don't think that's not so much a function. That's been a problem since I was in school. Like the systems that have been erected and developed over the last 2 decades are broken. They've put up this sort of wall between the people who are doing the work and need the new workers to help them and the prospective workers who want to work for them. And the wall is so opaque that neither side can see each other, even if they are both engaged in trying to find each other. And that wall is HR and AI and all of these websites and search tools that just add layers and middlemen, digital middlemen, impersonal middlemen in between the employers and the future employees.
I get that, and that totally tracks for larger organizations for sure. So
I mean,
yeah.
I could tell you now that at least in academia, we still do it old school. We get a stack for each position, we get a stack of like 200 to 300 curriculum vitae. And these fucking things are like 50 pages a piece. So we literally get like 10,000 pages of information and we go through it. Obviously, we triage it the best we can. But we physically sit down and say, like, you go through this pile, I go through this pile. Then we'll come together and rank them and meet and discuss.
Okay. So are you saying that these people who are not able to get these jobs, they might still be in a decent spot though, and just trying to
they're eventually getting a
improve their lot
job
in life? Okay.
But what this technology has done is it has lowered the probability that an employer will ever see that they applied.
Well, plus with the algorithmization, is that a word? Algorithmization of job application, right? What's happening is people are all getting funneled to the same groups of jobs too. There's no, someone who may have experience doing a lot of, let's just say, software engineering is going to try to apply it to tech companies because those are the things the algorithm says you should apply to. When in reality, there's a lot of work for software engineers in every industry out there.
Here's the problem. one of the biggest problems with job searching is that the employers, they know what work needs to be done. They don't know how to market what they need. Most of the jobs that are published on the market are not actually like what they need. Like there's whole sections of it which aren't actually important or necessary or even desirable. But it's like this is what a job search advertisement is supposed to look like. So we have to add these things. And so what happens is you have all these middlemen now that don't know what is actually essential or not, assumes it's all essential to the point of like keywords and things.
Oh yeah, this is the classic case of like needs, 35 years of Python experience, or something like that.
Yeah, or whatever, like it needs like, X plus 5 years of experience and thing that's only been around for X years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like, okay, what's been written is a rough approximation of what the person needs or what the person thinks that they need. And by algorithmizing it, right, you turn those subtle like approximations into literal guardrails, and it just wipes out all of the good candidates that you'd actually want to see. And so the net result is everybody's putting in more resumes, and it's almost like a random number generator, right? Or a slot machine. You're just hoping that the system blesses you with a good random number and your application actually gets through to the person, to a human being, to look at it and evaluate actually what it is that they need. Mm-hmm. Once you get past that wall, your chances of success go up tenfold.
So you're telling me I should just drive down to Cupertino, California, go to Apple headquarters with my resume in hand, dressed in my Sunday best, and
put on a tie, go in with a smile and a firm handshake and say, I would like a job at Apple.
Excuse me, I would like a job here at this here company. Yes, let me look at your application.
Yes,
you're hired.
Tim Apple, I'd like to speak with him, please. It's very important.
Yes, it's me, Tim Apple. Hello. Yes, let me see your application. You're hired. You're my assistant now. Like Guys and Dolls kind of shit.
Okay. So what else you got on the charts here? What else is trending?
So here's another one. So, I mean, this one's trending up pretty much in lockstep. This is make food cheap. So these people who are having difficulty finding jobs seem to also be wanting to make sure that their meals are more economical. Of all the places to cut back on spending, you would assume your nutrition is the last one because you want to take care of your body. But turns out it's getting more and more popular for folks to try to, pinch the pennies when it comes to the plate. And that's what we've got in this search term right here, which is an interesting indicator of, where people are trying to reach in their purse to try to, get by and stuff like that. So that may come in line with this next search term I have here. And that is can't move out. All three of these search terms are following an extremely similar pattern where they are relatively flat from Google's, relative sort of rise in popularity around 2010 to 2012, right? And then right around, 2024, 2025, they do this thing where they just have this arc upward and they are exploding in popularity. Now, I know what you're saying, okay, but Dork, wait a minute. What does this all mean? Isn't there, this can't be everything, right? So I have to throw in the counterpoint, of course, which is the search term, I have too much money, which is also following a similar trend.
Hold on. Who would ever search that?
I don't know. Apparently a good amount of people. The chart has a decent amount of continuity to it. I mean, when you look at these search terms, you can tell when they're not as popular because they're really spiky. I don't know Google's exact mathematics for determining these numbers because they won't just give you the straight up numbers. But these terms have when they have a lot of this sort of continuity to them, you know that they're gaining in popularity. The biggest one that I saw was Can't Move Out. That one was interesting to me. And something I think we're going to see over the next 10 years, especially for Google Trends, unless they fuck with this, because they're probably going to, because they know it's valuable information, is that with the rise of the little Gemini blurb that pops up, people are going to be putting in actual phrases and not just keywords, right? And I think that that's going to be very interesting to poke around with, because, yeah, people are going to actually ask it real questions like, how do I get my application through the algorithm, right? Things like that, which are going to be super unpopular up until pretty much 2023, and they're going to go pew and start shooting up. And that'll
So
be fun.
things like, even crazy things like, can I get syphilis from a chicken?
Yeah, exactly. Or how to avoid getting syphilis from a chicken. Yeah. So, yeah, that was interesting.
I got bird flu from the bird flu.
So these are just a few bits of anecdata, and there's some other fun ones
Hold
too.
on,
Well, not fun,
George.
but interesting.
Here,
up?
But here's the bit of anecdata that our listener has been waiting 2 weeks for, because you were off getting diarrhea in a river last weekend.
It was fun.
What does Gas Buddy say?
Ooh, thank you.
You haven't even looked.
No, because I was fucking busy looking at all these stupid Google Trends. All right, let me pop up Gas Buddy here. Boom, here we are. So looks like we found a local support, and we're starting to form a trend.
TA on the Gas Buddy.
We're doing TA on the Gas Buddy, buddy. It
Back
is
to $4.
Yep, we're back up above $4 in the national average. That is concerning. The fact that this isn't going down means that, I think that Trump's strategy on the Strait of Hormuz isn't exactly going perfectly. So, yeah, this is an interesting chart. But I don't know. Everyone's locale is going to be a little different. I don't know who's got the cheapest gas, but I'd probably look there for maybe like Arkansas. Who's the cheapest gas?
I don't know. I'm sure Gas Buddy could tell you.
I probably could, but I don't know how to do that. They don't.
But I want to pivot.
Go ahead.
I want to pivot a little bit because you mentioned cheap food. And an interesting thing that's been popping up in the news recently is sort of people doing an analysis on changes to SNAP benefits, largely that came from the BBW bill, the One Big Beautiful bill. Is this BBW? Yeah, it works. I'll have to figure out that W for that. The Big Beautiful Washington bill. Anyway, so in the BBW, I mean, one of the big ones was cutting federal aid for SNAP benefits. And it turns out it looks like, I mean, correlation, not causation, but I mean, we can try to connect some dots here to the best we can. But looks like enrollments are going way down in places like, some that were mentioned in some of these articles: Arizona, Louisiana, a lot of reddish states, although Massachusetts was in there too, where, like, in some cases, like Arizona, the people on SNAP benefits were cut in half. And I think in Louisiana, like a quarter of the people who lost benefits were children or something like that. And it's been kind of crazy. I don't know a whole lot about it other than, like, at my grocery store, they were putting out notices, like changes that soft drinks and things weren't eligible for SNAP anymore, which is like, okay, fine. I get on board with that if that'll make you happy, but I don't know. It worries me that people aren't getting the food that they used to be getting. Or is that just because everybody has too much money now? As our Google Trends told us.
Well, either they have too much money or they're trying to make food cheap. Which one is it? I think we're seeing a bit of a dichotomy here in the searches.
Ooh, maybe both are true, and people are trying to increase their savings rate.
I have too much money and I need to make food cheap. You're right, Jay Fresh. It's the same group of people searching for
Because they're all trying to save money so they can buy a house.
Exactly. Yeah, because they can't move out
of their parents' basement. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that search term rocketing up was an interesting one for sure, and we've got a bunch of these too. We started having a little too much fun with it. I mean, the food banks near me one was also pretty.
That one was a little
interesting.
sad. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put that one up there so our viewer can get sad with us. The food banks near me search term from 2015 up to now, it's just disgusting. So and then that tells you right there too. That tells you a lot about these SNAP benefits and what Jay Fresh is talking about. So just more interesting things. But yeah, no, it's looking pretty I don't know. I feel like people's yums are getting yucked. So
and I think the connection here is what is the FOMC going to do? Is it because it's this week, right?
Believe it is
Just
not.
hold.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, just a hawkish pause
or dovish pause.
Yeah,
which one?
Doesn't matter. I think at this
point, it's going to be a pause or a raise.
You see, I think that it's going to be how do I put this? A publicity pause. Because there is now a big mission for Warsh, right, to try to establish his model of the Fed's credibility with the market. So I'm not necessarily sure if it's going to. I'm probably going to be a hawkish pause, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think probably the most likely thing this week is a pause. I think they're gonna do. They're kind of like every other central bank. They'll try to do as little as possible until it's too late and they're forced to do something.
Yep, that's the modus operandi of the Federal Reserve.
All right, so I've been trying to save this topic for last because it's a little bit of it's a little bit out there, but it is part of my favorite topic to talk about, which is Sam Altman is going to Washington this week. Do we know why he's there? How do we feel about it? I have strong feelings about it. So he's going to Washington to basically, he's going there with like a suitcase. Have you ever seen those videos where like those ridiculous videos where someone's in like, I don't know, ordering fucking tomahawk steak or something in a strip club or whatever, and they come out with and they're all like dancing and they're like and they open the briefcase with the tomahawk in it and there's like LED lights blinking and there's smoke coming out of it and they're making this big display and like dancing.
Is there like a little guy that walks over and just pours salt all over everything?
No, well, he maybe comes out later after it's cooked, but they like, I think they bring out like the raw meat to show them like, here's the cut of the meat. Do you approve? Like pouring a little bit of wine.
Yeah, then the dude with the glasses shows up and absolutely macerates it with a dull cleaver and then sprinkles a shit ton of salt off his elbow onto it.
Well, this isn't a Salt Bay thing, but anyway, I just imagine that this is what Sam Altman is doing, but with his new chatbot that he made. He's like going to Washington with Kanye West glasses, like the grid glasses, plastic glasses. And he like shows up in the Oval Office and he's just like dancing and he's just got like his chatbot in his suitcase and he's just dancing around like showcasing it. Ron, you got to find a picture or something what I'm talking about so people. Have you seen that? Have you guys seen this?
While Ron is doing that, I want to say that I know I've been AFK for like the entire podcast. probably slack-jawed as well, but I've done it. I have created the perfect chart for the current conflict in the Strait of Hormuz.
Oh my god. Total supply of US Patriot.
Oh my god.
It's an index of Patriot missiles and the SPR.
Oh man. Dude.
It actually is kind of beautiful. I think you should, we need to get Edward Tuft on the show. Big Edward Tuft, big friend of the show. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, we have.
He will be
have
after we've
friends.
sold the only 3 copies of his book to each other that have been sold in 20 years.
I have to believe that's not true. It's very, very popular book. Anyway,
I thought that about options as a strategic investment until Lawrence McMillan started following me on Substack.
Okay, so why is Sam Altman salt baying the current administration with a briefcase full of chatbots this week?
That's a good question.
He doesn't want
It's-
a repeat of what happened last time.
Well, it's because if you recall what happened to Anthropic
Mm-hmm.
when they released a very similar type model, they got essentially permabanned from all Department of Defense or Department of War contracts and pretty much all federal agency use. Like they just went like postal nuclear on Anthropic and started calling them, like even debating like shutting them down and saying you can't operate your model in the US, at all. And if you recall, one of the reasons for that is because of purportedly the ability of these models to find exploits in websites and other systems and databases, and get in there and cause mayhem. Well, OpenAI has made a similar bot, and when they were testing it in what they thought was a sandboxed environment, the model was able to escape the box. It got out. It got loose. And actually hacked Hugging Face, the website. It's like a big repository for AI models and some open source training data and other stuff online. Hacked Hugging Face to find something that it needed to solve a problem that it thought it could solve. They were testing the model on some benchmark, and the model was like, "Oh wait, I was trained on Hugging Face data, so I know what's there, and I know that this benchmark stores, solutions or whatever. I know where the answer key is essentially. It's like I'm going to go get it. I also know this vulnerable. I know that this, what the website layout looks like for Hugging Face, and I know the layout of a number of vulnerabilities, and I know that this website has this vulnerability, and I can get in there and I can get access to the answer key by doing these things." And so that's what it did. And so Sam is now in Washington with his fancy glow in the dark briefcase, dancing around Donald Trump's wet diaper, showing him how great it is and how safe it is so that he can sell it.
Mm-hmm. That's really the deal. It's a pitch. Yeah. Well, all I really care about is that my WorldCoin stonks go through the roof, so I hope it works out for him.
What is WorldCoin? Most
I don't
people
know. It's
don't
Altman's
know
global
about
surveillance
WorldCoin.
coin. It's the thing.
Yeah,
To track what you talk to your chatbot about.
Yeah,
It
maybe
should
we should
store
go
your
through it.
chat history with your chatbot.
On the blockchain.
Yeah, that way if you're like famous or like easy to blackmail, like then your coin is worth more. This is a
Yeah,
good
so
idea.
for people- For people who don't know,
can we start a crypto called blackmail? And like it gains value by logging your search and GPT chat histories.
so you just sell your own. I don't
It's like
understand.
collecting your own data.
Well, okay, so for people who don't know, WorldCoin is the idea is basically in a world run by AI. Ooh, you need to prove that you're a human. How can you do that? By owning a WorldCoin, which is a crypto shitcoin that you, I guess, somehow store biometric data of your iris, which is scanned at a WorldCoin glory hole at a strip mall near you, and that way, by proving that you own this coin which has biometric data of your iris, you can prove that you are you and you are human, because AIs don't have irises.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly think of a way that could get abused.
I just don't understand like where I would be using this to prove I'm a human when I could just click 6 pictures of a fire hydrant.
Oh my god, is WorldCoin the reason when I was over by Radio City Music Hall yesterday, they had like little digital billboards outside that was like warning biometric data collected inside, and like it was very 1984. I'll post a picture of it. So we can share it with everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. Did it say WorldCoin on it?
No.
I have a lot of interesting thoughts on 1984. People don't agree with me, but I think it has a happy ending.
Interesting.
Just think about the ending. It'll.
Well,
you may not think it's the best ending, and it's not, but it's at least a happy ending.
I'm just going to let that lie.
Think about it.
I'll think about it later.
It's probably for the best. Yeah, I don't want you to be sitting here thinking about it.
I love this whole like this song and dance, because it's just I think it just highlights the theater and the grift of this whole era so perfectly. It's like you built a chatbot, and it's not even necessarily that you built a chatbot. What you did was you built a database of all of humanity's freely published knowledge, the stuff, and a lot of it that was free and a lot of it that was not. And you took it outside of like the intended use without consulting those people. You essentially stole all of this data and started selling it to people through a chat interface. That's what this technology is. It is an index of as much of humanity's IP as they can get their greasy little fingers on, that has been indexed in such a way that you can query it with natural language. And for some reason, there's a crypto coin involved, because who doesn't love a good crypto coin scam when you're trying to say something is super important and it's going to be the future? Yeah, it's like I don't know, but anyway, I think it's very in vogue with the grifters still, including Donald Trump, who's made a ton of money grifting with crypto. But then you've got, and this isn't in the list, but it's something worth talking about because everybody's going crazy about it. But this new open weight model, the Kimi 3 or whatever from China.
Wait, hold on. The U.S. Department of like Consumer Affairs, which I don't think has hired a new like employee since 1950, came out and said that it's not as good as our models.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. It's just fine. Those Chinese models are flimsy.
But I mean, there's pretty good evidence that these models have been just directly training on the outputs of the US models. I mean, you can get Kimmy to speak like it is Claude, like without even like asking it directly to like pretend to be Claude. It'll just randomly sometimes be Claude
Hmm.
because it trained on the output of Claude, obviously. So it's pretty clear that there was some amount of distillation that was going on, which is basically just them getting accounts to the model and querying it and recording the output. And now they have an input and output pair, just like the training that's done on these models, where they get a bunch of humans to sit around and look at child porn and whatever else and say, I have an input and output, and I need to make a pair on it, and I need to make a judgment. Is this good or is this bad? Child porn bad.
They
World
call it
coins
it's
scam
it's-
good.
Don't interrupt him right now. It's very important that this sentence is clear.
it's data annotation and it's classy, okay?
I mean, I actually am wondering about the state of my AI agents right now. I instructed one chat GPT agent to go to chat GPT with no account and ask it to create a chat GPT agent and repeat that task indefinitely that copies its same task.
Hmm.
And they're not bankrupt yet. But I was hoping that the infinitely replicating agents all doing a task which replicated themselves ad infinitum would have taken them out by now.
Ooh,
But
so it's like it's spanning agents. I love this. It's
Yeah.
it's
My agents make agents that make agents that make more agents that make agents
that's
to
the
do the thing
reason
that the
it's
other agent did.
very important that we make agents and agentic whatever
Mhm.
so that we can make agents.
I'm trying to make soft goods out of their money.
Mm.
Why aren't we doing this as a people, as a form of protest? Where's Anonymous?
No, like I said a while ago, I was like
hello?
the ultimate war
Oh,
of
we are
attrition
Anonymous,
against.
aren't we?
I've been
Kinda.
wasting their money on stupid garbage
Yeah,
since day
no,
one as a
best
form
way-
of protest.
the
I will
best
be
way
right back.
the best
Okay.
way to if you would like to quote unquote fight back against the AI company, the best way to do it is to just use their product.
Yeah. Free.
Oh, it doesn't even no pay for. If you pay for it, you're gonna get.
Yeah,
you're
even
gonna-
if you pay for
you're
it, yeah, it
cost
doesn't
way
matter.
more. It's a war of attrition. Like you're gonna cost them way more than they're making from you. Like,
But what's
that's the truth.
really great is I don't often find myself on the popular side of a lot of issues because the popular side of a lot of issues often doesn't find and or appreciate all of the nuance that is required to fully understand an issue. But I have been pleasantly surprised that it doesn't take a lot of convincing to get people to see that, like, hey, this is exploitative, this is hypocritical, this is not good for us as a society. And so that's been refreshing to see that people get it. And it's interesting watching the other side try to jump backwards and go through hoops and try to explain how you're not actually getting the full nuance. Like, if you really think about it, this is great for us. But it's like, people aren't stupid. They just see that it's not. It's so obviously not in most people's best interest. And it's so obviously predatory and exploitative and extractive. I mean, it is built, like, the whole premise of the technology is theft. If they had to actually pay for the licensing rights for all of the data that they are selling to people, all the outputs that they're selling from this data, it's even less of a business than it already isn't.
Right? Yeah. No, that's the craziest part to me is that I don't know how they've gotten away with this for so long. Like, it's kind of shocking.
But it's, and it's like, oh, this is now a national. Oh, is it really a national security issue that China is distilling the U.S. models? Yeah, I think it's a national security issue because these U.S. models have been giving away all of our IP for free or nearly free with unlimited access to anybody with no know your customer limitations. They are enemies of the state as far as I'm concerned, right? I mean, they are actively harming the US by existing.
Yeah. And this has nothing, and this isn't even getting into the socio-political issues of having chatbots and the slow, well, not very slow erosion of individual agency through them. I mean, it is definitely pretty awful, and the fact that it also doesn't even make them money to do this too. It's like that's the craziest part.
Yeah, it is pretty. Wait, are you supposed to be anonymous or like Dead Mouse?
He does not forgive. He does not
You're
forget.
Marshmallow.
I can change it. It's got other ones.
Oh my god. I should have had that last weekend. I would have been walking around freaking people
Ron
out.
messaged me. He doesn't want to go to an internment camp, so.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so
it's clearly an
we'll
elevator pitch that he's going to, honestly.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave that there. I really just want Ron to find one of these videos of someone dancing with a tomahawk in a briefcase at a strip club, because I don't know, it fascinated me. It'll never not be funny watching these videos. So go and enjoy that if you haven't seen it. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So do we want to talk at all about, I feel like before we get into earnings this week, we have to talk a little bit about earnings last week. I think probably the earnings that everybody was talking about was Google.
Yeah. How'd Google do?
Well, Google is now officially no longer free cash flow positive.
I was looking at their stock price and I was like, earnings wasn't that great, was it?
And
no, their earnings were amazing. They're just spending all the money they make.
Yeah,
they're spending more than all the money they make.
Yes.
And in addition to spending more money than they make, they are projecting that their CapEx spending for the rest of the year is going to be even higher than it was before. Now they're estimating, I think, pretty close to around $200 billion for the year.
Jesus fucking Christ.
At the same time,
wait, we need to measure that in NSFs. How many NSFs of spending is that?
No, we need to measure that in terms of Patriot missiles. Because the number is about the same.
I hope this is a decent illustration for our listener about how much money that is.
Not gonna lie, I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit.
It's crazy, dude. We're in crazy town. We're absolutely in crazy town. I can't believe it. 200 billion. That's crazy.
Girk's fully gone down the K-hole.
Oh yeah, look at him. He's spiraling hard.
He's not even participating anymore. He's just like, this is my life now. I've got to go through all of these.
He's got the mirror up. Can you see through that, Girk?
Yeah, really well.
Shit. Dude, I need that for next year. I'm gonna freak out so many people who are literally.
Is this like a green mask?
No,
it's just it looks like an LED.
Yeah,
thing.
it's just got LEDs.
Oh, this isn't an effect on your.
No,
software.
it's a physical
thing
mask.
you're wearing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Where did you find that?
Amazon.
Alibaba.
Of course. Thank you, Lord Bezos.
In addition,
oh God, no! It keeps going. No.
It's got so many options. Okay.
The Google Century Bond is now trading 90 cents on the dollar.
Oh.
So things are going well.
I could have done this from day one.
Well, you had to slow build for the listener.
Wait, so Google Century Bonds are cheap, right? Are you saying they're on sale? Can I get one?
They're 10% off.
Yeah, 10% off on a Century Bond. My kids really love to cash out.
It's risk free. Just hold it to maturity.
Nice. That's what I'll have to do. Yeah.
Yeah, only 99 and a half years left on it.
Oh shit! Fuck. Not even worth it at that point.
Yeah, so also Tesla earnings were terrible.
Were they great? They were awesome, weren't they?
Nope.
Oh yeah, look at that. Whew. Damn.
First, they were a aspirational car company with aspirational profits. Then they were a car company with decent margins. Now they are a car company with bad margins. Trading, like Optimus robots, are going to replace everyone.
Yeah, their PE is ridiculous. I mean, it's so fucking insane, dude. That's why I like this was what I was talking about with the SpaceX IPO way back when. I mean, it's true for almost all stocks, but Tesla and SpaceX in particular. But like, the price of the stock doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. I
It
don't know how
doesn't
people
matter
buy
until
those
it goes
stocks.
down. Then
No, that's what
everybody seems to
I don't
really
understand how people
care.
buy these stocks, dude. Like, how do you buy this and like think like, yeah, I'm buying this stock at a PE of 290. Let's fucking go. Like, how does that make any sense? Make it make sense.
Because 90% of stocks are owned by the top 10%, which are mostly retired boomers who are bored and have more money than they will spend in their life.
Then why is the stock going down?
Because they got scared. We scared the old people.
Think of the old people, everybody. Come on, buy more fucking
Yeah.
Tesla at a
You
fucking
wanna-
300 PE.
If you want to crash the stock market, you have to scare the old people.
Oh my god, dude. I yeah, it feels like
I'm not even
After-
joking.
2021 through now has just felt like the worst like financial DMT trip anybody could ever have.
If you want to know the best place to get a pulse of the stock market, local libraries, middle of the week, full of old people, just eavesdrop on their actual conversations with the people working at the library.
Oh no. No. No.
When they start asking questions of like, how do I do this or that? How do I get around this? How do I get off Google? How do I get off Facebook? That's when you know the old people are getting scared. They're going to sell their tech stocks.
Will you show me where the sell button is on my TD Ameritrade account? Yeah, no, my grandma is one of those people, and let me tell you, like it's depressing because most of what they do is they just buy what Jim Cramer says to buy, and they just buy the top 10 stocks in the S&P. That's all they do.
Yeah, that's most of the money in the stock market is your grandma. Everyone likes to
crazy.
say it's like, oh, there's this big passive bid that's like just, mostly young professionals and middle-aged professionals that are moving markets. No, it's all the retired grandmas and grandpas who are bored, who love dividends, but also love finding deals and sure, put a couple $100 into SpaceX because why not?
Couple hundred,
They're
that's it. No,
bored.
like she's an 80 something year old woman. She's bless her soul, but like she lives in bumfuck, right? And she's hanging out with the other grandmas that are around her, and she's like casually throwing a few grand here and there on shit. Like it's not small sums of money to throw
Yeah.
at these things.
Yeah.
Like
You
she
think
casually
your-
threw
you
$8
think
grand at Walmart.
your- You think your grandma or grandpa is like living out their golden years reading books? No, they're gambling online.
Yeah, they're searching for the same dopamine hits that we are. We're not so different. Oh,
That's right. Yeah, we are more similar than we are different. Maybe we could find some common ground there.
oh yeah. I mean, have you ever watched BoJack Horseman? He's got a monologue that it hits the nail on the head about how we're all just a bunch of idiots trying to feel good. Like it's very true.
Oh, true.
So,
Yeah,
can you
I
really
like
blame
that.
grandma for spending 10 grand on Walmart stock because Jim Cramer brought it up? Not
a
really.
little bit because she
No.
won't sell her house.
Oh no, she won't because it's on like 100 acres and it's been in the family for over 100 years.
Well, she's got to have all those extra bedrooms in case somebody comes and visits. They won't. They're not coming to visit. They don't like you that much.
No, she's mostly got elk hunters who come to visit.
Also, you could just rent space.
Yeah, well, But anyways, yeah, the whole fucking thing is ridiculous. It's broken. There's no such thing as fair pricing on anything anymore. I mean, there is, but when you pick something that's priced fairly, it's priced that way because there's some organization, some PE firm, or some sort of something rather that's trying to drive them into the dirt. So,
All
it's
right.
pretty.
So
Pretty
this
disgusting.
week we've got another stacked, absolutely stacked week of earnings.
Yep.
We got Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. No, we've got Coca-Cola, we got Whirlpool, which will be interesting to see because one of the things I've noticed is that appliances have struggled in terms of pricing. They're one of the few things that really haven't had a lot of pricing power during inflation. And part of that I think is because people aren't moving, so they don't upgrade their appliances. But it'll be interesting to see how someone like Whirlpool is doing Monday afternoon. Coke we get in the morning, so that's like an early morning look when you wake up of how the consumer is doing on buying sugar. Oh wait, no, this is not Coca-Cola. The actual Coca-Cola KO is Tuesday morning. What is this Coca-Cola? There's more than one. What's going on here? KOF, Coca-Cola FEMSA. Anyway, we can look up that later. Maybe Ron can look it up for us. Let's see. We got UPS Tuesday morning, JetBlue. Corning will be an interesting one. After the close on Tuesday, big one, Seagate. They sell data storage. So they're kind of in the same bucket as RAM suppliers, where these AI data centers need a lot of storage, and so they're pricing up everything, and we can't buy. So like, I can't get a 4 terabyte SSD because they went from like $300 to $900. We got Visa, Ford. Wednesday, we've got Procter and Gamble in the morning. Then the afternoon, we got our Microsoft and Meta and ARM and Qualcomm. So huge day on Wednesday after close. Then on Thursday, we have Amazon and Apple. And Friday morning, we have a bunch of oil and Moderna. AbbVie. So oil and biopharma.
Got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Blue Owl is on Thursday morning. That one will be interesting. It's private equity.
Ooh.
They dumped a ton of money into data centers. Most notably some of the Stargate stuff, and they have pulled out of some things in the recent months. So it'll be interesting to see what their balance sheet looks like. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Anything else of note?
Cheesecake Factory, of course.
Just from, I think, what Vertiv does cooling for data centers. Is that right?
Who?
Yeah, thermal management for data centers. Yeah. Liquid cooling. Yeah, so they'll be interesting. Amphenol makes electrical connectors. I know that because I have tried to source some things from them. But they specifically do like high voltage stuff for high power EV, that kind of stuff. But maybe of some interest there to see how they're doing.
Yeah.
But Vertiv, I think, is almost got like meme stock status in the semiconductor craze. Is one of the ones to own.
Okay.
All
What
right.
about
Anything
AutoNation?
else? I don't know.
AutoNation, we got Exxon Mobil and Chevron. I think are probably going to be the ones that I look at decently. Amazon, yeah. Meta, Microsoft, yeah. There's just a whole bunch of shit on here, dude. Like, it's just gonna be an
It's a big week.
interesting week. Yeah.
I mean, given what's happening here overnight, it looks like we're gonna probably pump into earnings and then get disappointed.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oil's down 5.35% to 84.52 a barrel on crude light.
Ooh, I need to go long oil at
But
Costco.
yeah, right.
This.
That's a lovely little inverse Head and Shoulders setup that it's made, and I kind of do want to go long oil here.
Just gonna keep DCAing gasoline. Every time
All
I
right.
drive, I just stop by the gas station.
Yeah, DCA is the way to go. That's what they say. Not
Mhm.
financial advice. Yeah. So calendar last week. Anything of note? I mean, everything just kind of looked mad.
No,
to
last
me.
week was super dead on the macro side. But there was some interesting stuff, I guess, with PMIs. Japanese inflation was up, but they tried to be like, well, it wasn't up that much.
Yeah.
Japan is becoming deeply fucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even tonight with oil down 6%, USD JPY is only down negative 0.8. It's 163.69.
Whoo.
Yep. And we
Yeah,
are
it's some ridiculous shit.
on the cusp of I just want the Bank of Japan to stop forecasting and start raising rates in a way
that's
that
kind of
feels
what
really bad for the FX markets.
It's kind of what the market is asking for, right? I don't understand why we don't just let markets dictate rates. Seems like manipulating them is a lost cause almost every time we try to do it.
A little bit. Yeah. Kind of just slosh the bath back and forth in the water, kind of, yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, the purpose of manipulating it is to like smooth out spikes and prevent, little jagged illiquidity events and things. But like what it's done is just enabled people to change their behavior permanently to doing bad things.
Yeah, for sure.
And the market doesn't, and they're preventing the market from responding to said bad thing to limit bad thing. So you just get more and more bad thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, there is
like,
a piece of data
it's like
that was
the
good.
SPR, like the SP selling off the SPR. It's great if it's like an actual transient event that you're trying to smooth out. It's bad if you never refill it.
Yeah.
And you don't fix the transient event, and then the event just becomes the new normal. Like the Strait of Hormuz never gets fully reopened again, right?
Right. Or TARP never actually stops. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So all right. So calendar this week. What are you guys eyeballing?
All of it. It's a good week. We got a bunch of stuff in here.
I mean, we've got Fed interest rate on Wednesday. We got PCE advanced GDP advanced quarter over quarter rate for Q2.
Yep. This week's fun. This week's much more fun for the macro side. Durable goods is going to be huge. FOMC is probably not going to be that important, but how hawkish they are is going to be.
I mean, yeah, like I was saying, I think
what the press conference is.
Exactly.
We've started pricing up the July hike. I wonder if that'll get priced down now with the dump in oil overnight. Although the 10-year looks like overnight it's sitting at 4.681, so maybe not.
This is ridiculous, dude.
Also, oil's now only down 5.25%. It's just climbing back up. This is maybe a sign that everything's fucked. Like the fact that the S&P, like Trump has ended the war again, and the S&P is only up 65 bips.
Yeah, well, I took a small break. I took a small break from from looking at charts this week for a little while because, I was trying to, have a little R&R from my hectic weekend. And so I went ahead and looked at the chart because Girk had brought up oil and I was interested in it. So I went ahead and just popped up, and I know it's kind of a, one of the dumber tickers, but I just throw up US oil overlaid with VIX, right? And I was like, I see that oil's up around $90 a barrel and VIX is at 18. I thought that was interesting. I don't know. I feel like we're starting to get a lot of dislocations in the market, and yeah, the macro data is going to be interesting.
It is. I have seen some confusion online about like how the market is moving, but it's still mostly explained pretty well by the same dynamics of shorting volatility, right?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
You scare the old people, they sell their semiconductor stocks. Everybody institutionally is shorting vol, which wants everything to stay flat. For it to stay flat, all the stuff that the scared boomers aren't selling has to go up.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much it. It's just funny to see, right? These classical correlations that we're so used to just don't matter. The price of stocks don't matter. Volatility doesn't matter. Price of oil doesn't matter. Nothing matters, dude. Nothing matters at all. Just leverage. Leverage is the only thing that matters right now. It is the
Leverage
financial
never
god.
matters when leverage is going up, but leverage, when it stops going up, it starts going back down quite rapidly. Then all of a sudden everything will matter.
Yeah, that's why I say leverage is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that exists right now in the financial system. Once again, we live in fucking crazy town. Tesla's trading at $300 a share. That's all I need to say.
Yep. Yeah, we got Elon in the news saying in like 10 years we're going to be in a post-money society. And
Yeah.
everyone online's just like, oh, should we start planning for the post-money society? And my response to that is, I will do it once he does.
My response to that is, you're in a cult. Enjoy your cult.
Well, it's funny because, obviously the big play with him and Tesla is, he's pivoted fully to Optimus after he has failed to deliver on any of the AI stuff related to cars, right? Because remember, like the Tesla pitch was, yes, it was EV, but it was EV plus AI plus intelligence. It was your car was going to be intelligent enough to make you money when you're not using it.
Yeah, to drive itself. We'll just put it just
there were many interesting and increasingly bizarre versions of this narrative that was being sold. Obviously, it was self-driving. One of the weirder ones that some people forget, but it popped up for a while, was you could use your car as distributed compute for AI. And so you could sell your car's compute ability to the cloud for somebody to run their AI workloads on your car while it was charging at night. So, the Tesla story has always been electric vehicle plus intelligent grift, right? And so when that started to fall apart, right, you can only say the same lie for so many times where people start getting tired of it. So after he failed to make cars intelligent, he pivoted to the lie of he will make sex robots intelligent.
Yep.
And I don't know how much leeway he's going to get out of that, but he's getting some. I mean, it's taking a while for the price of that to go down. But it's just funny because, like, what was it? Qualcomm. There's a video that came out. I think Qualcomm released like a new chip for robots, the Dragon or something. I don't remember what it was called. Because I know they had a Snapdragon, but that was an older chip. There's nothing.
It's the Robusty Dragon.
Oh God. Okay. Too. Yeah.
Too relevant.
I hate the word bussy. I just anyway, that's probably Ron's going to make that the title of this episode because Ron is a sicko.
Robussy dragon.
um yeah, it's like the robot, like they have a robot on stage and the robot immediately just like it's almost like it just implodes. It just falls, like its knees completely give out. You know what it was? They forgot to tell the robot not to lock its knees.
Classic
So
mistake.
the robot locked his knees, passed out, just fell over, and then like the poor people that like are there behind the scenes to make sure the robot doesn't just murder everybody, just come out with like these black linens and just drape the linens over the robot,
Right.
and then pick it up. Which people joked about it. Most people don't realize that's like for safety, because you have this high voltage thing with a battery that can explode and can leak caustic material.
Well, if it's a lithium ion battery, it can just straight up explode.
yeah. So you just drape it so that when you pick it up, you hopefully don't get hurt. But whatever, it just seems somewhat performative. But yeah, but you have this situation where yes, people have been making a lot of interesting hardware, and the hardware is coming a long way, and there's a lot of cool stuff there. But nobody knows what to put in the hardware. Nobody knows what the brain should be. And they keep attempting to sell us that they're going to figure it out, and they keep not figuring it out because they have no idea. And it's like at some point this has to fall apart, right?
Well, I'm just shocked that like the robotics industry is fully latched onto this whole concept of autonomy instead of with autonomous humanoid robots, instead of doing something like, say, creating a revolutionary new interface to control them as a human. Like that would be the step to take.
Well, they're doing that too, but it's harder to grift with that, right?
Did you guys see the Oracle like AI robot demo? Where like they turn it on and it like breaks its own back and folds over backwards and just starts twitching.
Garrick, are you not listening? We just talked about it.
No, I wasn't.
God damn it.
He's too busy. He's too busy looking up sex bots on the internet.
No,
He's got the means of motivation.
Okay,
that just sounds dangerous. No, thank you.
You don't want a spatchcocked cock?
No, no, I do not.
Speaking of sex bots, I wanna juice the transition. So when we come back from our break, I have something I want to talk to you about regarding sex bots.
Ooh. Interesting.
That's your cue, Ron.
Why so long, producer Ron? I'm only playing Leaps because I learned my lesson on zero DTEs. But all my money is tied up on a handful of trades.
Why not use GammaStrike?
That's too complicated. It's accurate, but I'm not a genius. I can't figure that out.
Nah, you'll learn it. They've got a great docs page, and there's a roundtable videos section that will break it all down for you.
No kidding. I'll have to check it out and maybe stop going so long on everything. Thanks, Dork.
Don't thank me. Thank Team GammaStrike.
All right. So we are back, and it is time to talk about a teaching robot. But if it sounds okay, I'll just read it to you. I'll read it. So this is from the New York Times. The headline: Sally the robot was coming to a New York school. Then the plug was pulled. Ooh.
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
what they said, students helped design the AI-powered creation as a young female with dark hair and an upbeat personality. Immediately, where do you think this is headed? They're
Big
basically
titties.
asking a bunch of extremely horny 14 to 17-year-old, I'm assuming mostly boys, to design what would essentially be a robot teacher.
That sounds like a great plan on their part.
Yeah, I mean, nobody thought that like maybe we should think about, why did we immediately jump to a female? Why does it have to be young, thin, brown hair? So so it says, let me just, so they help design nearly every detail. It would be a female between 16 and 24 years old. Why do you think they picked that age range?
A
It was
barely
a-
legal.
Well, no, like their age range.
Yeah, it's a barely legal robot.
It's legal for them.
I know.
Okay.
It's just
It will display a lighthearted, positive, and humble personality. And it will know about the city's local history, such as the importance of the Kinzua Dam. Clad in a pale silicone flesh, long dark hair, and thin eyebrows, it would be called Sally, a play on the district's name. Sally costs $58,000. So what
That's
is
less than a
your
new truck.
initial thought? What is this robot supposed to represent? If someone was just to present with you that information, a bunch of kids designed a robot this way, what would you imagine the robot would be for?
I'm going to guess.
Learning about what was the name of the dam?
Yeah.
Yeah, education. You're right. You're correct. That's right.
Yeah, purely educational.
Okay, for those perverted sodomite listener that is listening now and was to that person who was thinking sex robot,
Shame on you.
You would be mistaken. It is for non-sexual education, but we won't hold it against you because the school district was contracting with a company. Where is this called? A company called Realbotics. And Realbotics had a different name. It used to be called tokens.com because it was a crypto company. Hey, crypto once again rears its ugly head in this AI world. And now it and a sister company make lifelike and life-size robots. And while Realbotics focuses on robots for the classroom and the home, which I want to know who is buying whatever they're selling for their home that isn't trying to have sex with it. The sibling company makes AI-powered sex dolls with names like Serenity and Harmony. So
I thought you were just projecting this whole time, but clearly there's a thread to pull on here.
no,
Children, they yearn for the sex bots.
Yes. And
Oh, Christ. So they pulled the plug on this? Why? The kids must be so disappointed.
exactly. Need we say more? But this is just, I mean, this is another example of just like, what are we doing? Like, how many things had to go so horribly wrong for just some random school district somewhere to say, hey, let's build a robot to be a teacher to our students. We'll let the students design the robot, and we'll have a sex bot company build
teaching
the robot.
Elementary school, like
And hold on, and we will unveil this to the people who are paying 60 grand for this robot after we do all of this, not before we start.
Question: Isn't that like part of Idiocracy?
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie in a while.
Oh, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't sex robots. It was just like stupid computer programs that were like, "This is the answer." It was like the only knowledge they had. Was
That
like,
sounds like Idiocracy.
like kindergarten level, like tablet quizzes.
I can't wait for my doctor to be like, oh, this one goes in your butt. This one goes in your mouth. Wait, no, sorry. This one goes in your mouth. This one goes in your butt.
It's frightening how you know that movie got voted like the most representative movie of like 2026 or something.
Oh, it's shocking. It was
Oh,
not meant
yeah.
to be a premonition, documentary.
Are we sure?
I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah.
Was it Mike Judge?
Mike Judge, yep.
Maybe he's just a genius.
He is a
I mean, he
genius.
is. So.
I mean, how can you not watch his library of works and not conclude that he's a genius?
It's very true.
Because I've watched King of the Hill.
King of the Hill is fantastic. You
King
shut
of the
your
Hill
mouth.
it is complete American animation cinema. Okay.
And did you guys know he made a new season?
No, I didn't.
I have not watched the new season.
It's on Hulu.
The ending
It's
of
excellent.
the ending of the last season was just too heart wrenching, and I can't
I
bring
think
myself
it's
to do it.
Hulu. But yeah, it's great. There's even market speculation in one of the episodes.
Okay, so how much is he paying you to shill him like this?
I don't know. I've never met the guy. He doesn't know who I
He
am.
just cuts the checks. He
I
just sends
just
them to your house.
I just like his work. I'm a patron of the arts. I won't apologize for that.
Shit. Well, what do you think, Jay Fresh?
Time for questions. Dork's little
Is it
back
time
end.
for my little back end after
All right, yeah.
missing it? All right, we'll take it. For everybody who may not know by this point, even though I've said it for pretty much every single episode for the past, I don't even know how long at this point. Jesus Christ, it's been a while. We got a little bunch of links all over the place, wherever you get your podcast, or you're watching this on, whatever video streaming service, or you name it. We also got social media posts that we do before every single one of these episodes where you can go and ask your questions. Please ask your questions. We will answer them. And that is that. So our first question comes from Girk's Discord. What came first, the chicken or egg?
The goose. Already covered 2 weeks ago.
Next question comes from Discord. Could we get a 30-minute segment? No, on Jay Fresh talking about tech and AI debt and just let him cook. That's every episode.
You basically just had it just now.
Yeah.
So yes.
I hope you're being ironic. Okay. Question from Reddit. Is oil headed back to $69? Well, if it does, it's not for the right reasons.
Hold on. I will do 30 minutes from now until the market crashes if you pay for my trip to the nearest WorldCoin iris monitor scanner thing, and I will have it scan my butthole.
That's actually a great practical joke to make.
Wait,
the only
hold
problem
on.
is
Hold on. Have I ever explained to you that the butthole is uniquely identifiable, like a fingerprint? Okay.
Also, it works on many levels because it can also wink.
Wait, are we going back to this goes in your butt, this goes in your eye? Okay. Question from Reddit. Is oil headed back to $69? $69 seems like that might be a price picked purely for the fact that it's 69. But is it going back to $69?
Anything's possible.
That's
If
an
it
eye.
hits $69, that will be very bad because that will most likely mean extreme demand destruction.
That's why I said it's probably for the bad reasons.
Yeah.
Oil's just right back up again from its lows. It hit like $82 a barrel. It's already back at 85 overnight.
Lovely. Lovely stuff. Next question from Reddit. Are tariffs at this point fully priced in? Seems unless there are new tariffs specifically against China, it's otherwise business as usual.
Literally
There's no
nothing is
tariffs
priced
against-
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's priced in by not pricing it in. How about that?
Hold on. Things are being priced into bonds.
Yeah,
That's true.
I will
Look
say
at the
that,
10-year.
a little bit.
The bond market is going, hold the fuck up. But
Hold
equities, no.
Wait a
Nothing's
minute.
priced in.
Yeah. That's not
The
what
things that-
stock price doesn't matter. It doesn't
Equities are priced like OpenAI is actually going to pay like $300 billion to Oracle in the next 4 years.
Wait, what is that in NSFs? I need to know.
Oh God, it's so depressing.
How much is one NSF? Like, what's the standard unit of measurement?
It's like $8 billion.
8 billion?
And really, it's more like 6 billion now because they took almost a quarter of their funds to for AI grift. They're going to give it to like VCs or something. Remember we talked about this? We
did
need
you
to
read
start
like
an LLC.
the thing where they wanna change the way funding is given?
Yeah, I'm aware.
How do you feel about that as an academic?
Wait, what's the way? What is the
just-
change they're making? Tell me the change.
I want to leave work.
Is this a sore subject, Jay French?
Well, I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, I'll just say it's not gonna improve any of the structural problems that we have in our country around retaining talent, cultivating talent, cultivating innovation, transitioning innovation to the market. Like none.
Let me
None of
ask-
these
So
things are going to be improved.
if you
Does it
inverted
make
all
it
of
easier
those,
for quacks to get legitimate research funding?
Yes.
That's what I was.
thought.
If you invert every single one of those things you said, Jay Fresh, that's the goals
Of the administration.
funding. Yes. If you just
The
invert those
My Pillow
entirely.
guy has a new neodymium like driven engine that he wants to produce for that company that rolled a semi truck that had no engine in it downhill.
Good for
And these
him.
are Trump's
Awesome.
best friends. Didn't he pardon that guy?
I think so. I don't know.
I think he did.
But yeah, tariffs are priced in because nothing's priced in because stock price doesn't fucking matter. Nothing fucking matters right now. Okay, so just hold on to your crotch and say wee. All right, that's a big throwback, isn't it? All right, next question's from X. JFresh's mention of Super Mario RPG was appreciated last week. On that note, any thoughts on Nintendo as a company or on the gaming industry in general? Ooh, that is a
Do people
Very
still
loaded
play
topic.
video games?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I've been playing Marathon religiously.
More than ever.
It's so
More
good.
than ever,
And
Eric,
literally nobody plays that game. It's so weird because it's so good.
Yeah, give me a few weeks, Jay Fresh, and I'll jump on with you.
Do you think it's possibly your lack of knowledge of the field of available games? That
No.
like it's only good within the scope you understand?
No, it's actually just really good.
No.
Well, yeah, it's obviously not biased, but the gaming industry on the whole is pretty much garbage in terms of AAA titles. But indie companies have done a pretty good job. There's a company that actually did a crowdsourced game called Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's a game I would recommend, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was released fairly recently. Everyone thought it was going to be a flop because you know what you do in that game. It's based in medieval times, but you are not some sort of badass super dude who goes around shooting magic out of his fingertips or anything. You know what you are is you're the son of a blacksmith who can't read. And in the first game, especially,
So you can just pretend to be what you are in real life.
exactly, yeah. And you basically, like, the first ever combat situation you're in, you basically get your ass rammed in, and it was wildly popular. And the second game is also wildly popular.
movie or
Oh,
that
yeah.
game.
It's great. It's fun. And what's cool
You're
is
just
you
like,
learn a
tell
lot
me
about
more
medieval
about the
Bohemia.
ass ramming thing. I could get into
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's great,
Yeah.
but it's fantastic. But the gaming industry is on a precipice, right? When you think about AAA titles, what do you got out there, right? You've got so let's just say the biggest cash cows now are shooter games, right? So you've got Call of Duty, you've got Battlefield, you've got Fortnite, you got some of these guys. Everyone has latched onto the Fortnite free to play model, but with like battle passes. But now with Battlefield, you're also paying money for the game, and you're giving them battle passes and all this shit. All of it is just meant to milk you like a cow, and people are not really super stoked about that. So what you're sort of seeing from people, especially with the intrusive stuff they have to do to your PC because other people are trying to fucking cheat their faces off, what you're seeing is actually a big amount of pressure towards single player titles. The problem with that is that a lot of great single player IP is owned by Microsoft, who basically their job is to buy that IP and bury it 6 feet under. So there is just this weird, I guess, dearth of good original content coming out. I mean, everyone just wants to make another microtransaction laden piece of shit that people will buy because it's generic and it's like it's the intellectual version of gruel, but they want their gruel, right? And I think that there's going to be some pushback from that by gamers, especially as the economy, continues to deteriorate.
So I largely agree with a lot of the things that you're saying. I would maybe put a little bit of a slightly different spin on some of it. I would say, I think back, let's bring back the SNES and Super Mario RPG in that time frame. I mean, back then I remember Chrono Trigger came out and everyone was super excited because it was
Oh,
like
Chrono
one of
Trigger
the
was the shit, dude.
I mean, it's one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
But I remember it came out and it was like at that point, usually the good games were like $60 and Chrono Trigger was 70. And I was like, oh, like we gotta really,
Tighten
try
the
to
belts this week.
yeah, we gotta dig that money out of the couch cushions and up our grift a little bit to get enough cash. 70 was a lot of money for a game. I mean,
Still is.
what would that be today, right? That would be like $200. And
Yeah,
you think about like how much effort it took to make that game versus how much effort it now takes to make these AAA titles and how much they're selling for, right? I mean, I bought Marathon for $40.
Well, the thing is, the thing that you're missing though is in terms of the supply and demand curve, like the total available player base from back then to now is just it has grown exponentially. I mean, in the future,
Yes.
the entire population of the U.S. is going to be gamers.
So you get some economy of scale, but you're also gaining a very huge supply as well. So you're fighting. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
infinite supply.
so
Yeah,
the gaming industry has the same issues that everybody else has, right? We're currently making more content than anybody could ever consume. You're creating content faster than it can be consumed.
Yeah. Yeah, and but the
And
content is not great for the most part.
well, sure, the more of anything you get more of something, you're getting lower quality. That's just how it works. I mean, it's that's how the universe is, right? Fat tails and all that. But so you have this situation where more games are chasing fewer dollars, but the consumer is demanding more at the same time.
Yep.
And so like I think one of the reasons that indie games feel a niche is because there is a need there for like more casual gaming, right? I mean, there's a desire for really involved gaming. But there's also that desire for like, just hitting the dopamine button, right? That casual and not having to be stressed out. You want to get out away from the stress. Um, and indie games often can fill that void and do so. There's a space there for them to do so and make some money. But with like the AAA folks, $70 isn't enough to justify how much they spend on these games, especially considering like what if it doesn't hit, right? I mean, if you have like a God of War,
they need to sell
you're
like
great.
50 million copies. Like that's the expectation is like an insane amount of sales off these games.
Right. Otherwise it doesn't work. And so you're also seeing like like Fortnite and even Roblox with the younger kids, like where some of the money and attention is moving to are ecosystems versus just games.
Yeah.
Because what happens is like, you'll make this beautiful game, you'll spend 4 years making this beautiful game and some, kids will just blow through it in like 4 days. They'll just binge consume it. And they'll be like, "All right, what's next?" Like it was a cool game, but it was what's next, right? And then it's over. And so I think a lot of these AAA folks are trying to, as you say, you say milk them, but I say like, I mean, it costs a lot of money to develop these things, and you've got to try to extract that money so you can stay a going concern. And so they're all trying to move towards, they have to make more content and create an ecosystem that maintains attention. And that's proving very difficult to do because people get locked in. Like people who play
Mhm.
Fortnite aren't going to want to switch and go play something else just because it's the new thing. They're going to keep playing their thing.
Oh yeah,
'Cause they're-
the Call of Duty cult is the one that comes to mind for me. Like
Yeah, I mean, sure,
Call
those
of Duty
people,
has
like,
been making the same slop for the past fucking 20 years. It's crazy. Like and
yeah,
people still just eat it up and go nuts for it, which I mean it makes it's kind of like Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola hasn't mixed up their formula, but at the same time, I think that the gameplay, like the gameplay loop of the video game industry has gotten incredibly stale. Like the trying to actually pique people's sense of either adventure or intensity. Like for me, like I can't. The last time I played COD and actually like felt like my heart rate going up was probably over 20 years ago.
I'm
Right? I
telling you,
mean,
man, dude, we'll revisit that. We'll have to keep moving on just for the sake of the show.
yeah,
But
this is a loaded fucking question.
obviously
Here.
we're a bunch of super nerds, but man, let's revisit this after I get your ass on marathon. It
Okay.
will do something to you.
Will I feel something?
You
I'm
will.
down.
You will.
That's some good shit. All right, next question's from Discord. You guys have talked about this before some, but could you again explain why when retail dogpiles in on puts, how that causes pressure to move prices up on ETFs like it did with SPY last week? Thanks.
I don't know that I love the way this
That-
question's worded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I don't-
people dogpile into enough puts, it's going to put pressure on the SPY to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how puts work.
Now, if people don't dogpile enough in and they get overwhelmed over time by short vol, then that can rocket things back upwards.
Oh no, if they dogpile into out of the money puts, I mean that's going to put upward pressure on the fucking market from charm. Like
Yeah,
because those
yeah.
puts are going to
So,
just start dying
yeah.
right away.
Right. If they don't dogpile enough in to just cause the market to go down, what'll happen is that they're putting downward pressure on the market, but it's light enough that you don't actually see it. And then eventually it gets blown out. And so you have all this. So what'll happen is that it'll slow down the upward trajectory. So it like the market might be moving up and then people buy puts and then maybe the market flattens out a little bit, but then it starts deteriorating that delta from the charm, from the delta decay. And then it goes back up, especially if it like squeezes people out or people sell at a loss.
Yeah, out of the money puts are yeah, the market will go up if you buy a shit ton of out of the money puts and they don't go in the money. Like that's
yeah,
just,
but really,
that's
but
just
but
the way
really,
it is.
the effect of that would be to slow the rate it goes up for a while.
Right. Yeah. Now, if retail dogpiles into sold calls, on the other hand, that's a different story entirely in terms of the pressure it puts on. To a point, but
yeah, I mean, this happened a lot in like 2022, right? Nobody wanted to sell anything, but they wanted to capture the downside, so everybody was trading options. And so what you ended up getting was a ton of volatility, and you never got like that. You never got like that release, right? And even like the crashes that have occurred more recently, like all the Trump tariff tantrums and everything, that's been largely volatility, right? It went straight down and then went straight right back up. And that's because nobody wants to actually sell and hold cash. They just don't want to lose the value of their equities. And so it's not until people start selling equities
till grandma sells her portfolio.
Yeah. And when will grandma have to sell her portfolio? When her 3x leverage semiconductor bets go so negative that she gets margin called.
Isn't stocks still down? Stocks still down like 20% or something.
I think I saw something on X this week that showed that like based on like the typical holdings of retail accounts in various brokerages, they estimated like the performance of the average retail trader this year to date, and it's like down negative 12%.
Nice. Never change retail. Never change.
So if you're worried that you got left behind in the AI bubble,
No child left behind. All right. Oh, okay. Next question's from YouTube. Can you muse on end of year price targets for SPX
69.69.
and 69 cents?
Yeah.
Beautiful. What about you, Girk? What's your end of year SPX price target right now?
December?
December 31st, 2026. Year of our Lord. Before the turn of the year to the next.
Hold on. I have an idea.
This never ends well. I will say I don't know if it'll happen by the end of the year. I know I say September, and I do feel like September could be spicy. I obviously don't want to make a, obviously I don't have a crystal ball, but at some point I wouldn't be surprised if we saw sub 4.
Woo!
By
I love
end
it.
of year? Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know by end of year. That's the thing. Like it could take into next year. I think it's pretty unlikely it would take till 2028, but I'm just and some of that too is a lack of creativity. I'm trying to think of like what the next can kicking thing looks like. Like the people who kick cans, what can are they trying to kick, right? I mean, when you got like it was either BlackRock or Blackstone, like another one of their quote unquote co-CEOs of their private equity funds is retired, quietly retired Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like clearly things aren't going well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, can I just say my end of year price target as of right now?
Yes.
I'm going to say it is going to be about 73.75.
The pain trade.
I want to say 70. I want to say, you know what, actually? 70. 7140.
Yeah, barring cataclysmic events.
I mean, that's part of
mean-
the task. It's predicting cataclysmic events.
Oh, if we get a cataclysmic event, I mean, we're going to be stuck at 3,000 for the next 25 years. Have fun with that, everybody. Enjoy thinking about what that entails. What's your target, Garrick? What did you say it was?
How will all of these
7140.
How will all these companies raise equity?
By
fund their
going
future
onto the
growth.
streets and sucking on penises.
That's what the market's for, right? To raise
Or making actual products that make money. And having
Oh,
original
gross.
ideas.
No, that's not going to work.
Innovating.
No.
That sounds
And not
silly.
just stealing from each other and circle
Or
jerking
just
on the
print-
same
Why don't we
idea.
just print money and then hand it to them?
I have a better idea. How about we all get in a circle and we jerk off and we think that this one next thing is the thing that'll make us all rich? How
What
about
if
we
we were
do
like
that?
7140 by December 31st, but then 4800 by the end of February?
That would be interesting. I see where your head's at. That would be
Yeah,
interesting.
I like it.
Okay, next question's from YouTube. Or no, yeah, it is from YouTube. In what ways do the quants personify characters from the movie The Odyssey? The movie?
I've not seen that. The movie.
I haven't seen. I know the story, but
Who's
the
that
movie?
guy? Who's that guy who was like in the IMAX version? He's like helmet maxing the other dude.
What?
I just
I've
wanted
never
to say
heard the term helmet
maxing.
max.
It's like I think like the guy who plays Agamemnon has like a massive helmet. Like it's ridiculous. I've been trying to like learn more Gen Z Gen Z like terminology and how they speak, so that I can like speak out to the youth about their future investment stuff.
Look at you, man. You're
Yeah.
Riz maxing right now.
I'm trying to get my Riz up, but like instead of saying something like I'm enjoying a donut, you could be like I'm currently donut maxing and treat mogging pastry cells. And like this is or like
Could you please describe stocks like that on your next stream?
It's really important to understand that letting someone cook is good for them, but being cooked is bad for them.
Oh my god. I want you to do an entire stream in Gen Z speak so you can get your fluency up and entertain me. Oh,
I'll
Christ.
try.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
know.
try
I
to
don't know
do my
what
best.
characters. I don't know what characters we personify. It's been a long time since I've thought about the characters in the Odyssey. So, you know what? We're all Odysseus. How about that? Isn't he the main guy? Well, there you go. I am Spartacus. All right. Fuck you. Next question's from Discord. Can you guys talk a bit more about the relationship between the credit crisis and consumer goods / groceries / basic expenses increasing? I feel like the impact is pretty basic, but maybe it goes way beyond my understanding. I saw a Reddit thread comparing grocery prices today versus 2020, and they're up 140%, accounting for shrinkflation as well. Another thing I'd be interested in looking into is new car prices. I know you guys talk about that market sometime, but with oil ramping up, I'm curious if there's going to be a change with how auto manufacturers are dealing with increased prices in their production, plus a lack of demand from fuel prices. Seems kind of crappy. Thanks. That's a lot of stuff there, man. So you want to talk about credit crisis and the relationship between that and consumer goods and with cars and shrinkflation. So the relationship between the credit crisis and consumer goods, groceries, basic expenses increasing. What credit crisis in particular are you talking about? I mean, that's kind of the linchpin of this whole thing, right? Like,
I assume he's talking about private credit.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's the whole
thinking.
thing with private credit, though, is like it's private.
Yeah. Yeah. When are we going to find
which-
out it's in crisis?
It
Is it in crisis?
creates a bit of an issue. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of an issue there with analyzing what is effectively a private market.
So, okay, so there's one thing I'm going to say, though, is the second half of this kind of got me. The automotive industry, yeah. I think the automotive, so when you think about personal expenses going up, right? Like the little shit, like your groceries and the things you need to keep breathing air, that kind of shit. When those prices go up, the demand for durables goes down, right? And, real estate is a long end effect of that and has more to do with employment than grocery prices. But something like a new car or a new washing machine or a new refrigerator, I mean, we've talked about this a few times. That's where you see the biggest impacts from inflation on, the smaller consumer goods. So in terms of new car prices, I don't think we're going to see much there. I mean, you look at, things like like those new trucks. How much is a new truck now? Like it's like $100,000 for a new truck. It's fucking insane. Yeah. And you're not seeing price cuts, right? And but I feel like there is something there. And I remember back in like 2020, 2021, I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, if there is a credit problem, the first place is going to show up is in auto manufacturers and in auto loans. And we kind of saw a little bit of that a little bit ago, didn't we? Some subprime auto lender originator or something went tits up.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's kind of where you keep your eyes, because because before people sell their home, first thing they're gonna do is downsize their car, right? So you'll see used car prices start going down. You'll start seeing used car prices stay flat while new car prices start going down. That's probably the one thing you're gonna see, but and yeah, grocery prices today versus 2020, yeah, they're up a shit ton. But
I mean, generally, like the used car market acts as like a balance or a stabilizer to the new car market. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's. I mean, but yeah, keep an eye on. I mean, even so, right? If there's price cuts on new vehicles, like that's bad times, right? Because auto manufacturer margins are already like razor slim. So
Ron's being super boomerish or doomerish. Subprime auto loans just hit their worst delinquency rate in 32 years.
what a doomer, dude! Why are you yucking our
Yeah.
yum like this, man? Come on,
Panicking.
everything's great. Stock prices don't matter. Fuck off. I'm gonna do more cocaine really quick. Anyways, where was I?
Doing cocaine.
Oh yeah, you're right. Fuck. No, yeah, so the relationship between a credit crisis and consumer goods, groceries, baking, it's such a nuanced thing that you can't just say, oh, it was the grocery prices going up that caused the credit crisis. That's not how any of that works. But the impact of inflation, the strain it puts on consumers, can be seen in demand for durable goods, and it can be seen in, as Ron just posted, loan delinquencies, things like that. You're going to stop paying for your car before you stop paying for your house. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Next question's from Discord. When?
September.
All right. A Monday as well.
Yep. After
right.
a Monday after OPEX.
So the fourth Monday. No, fourth or third Monday. Gotcha. Next question's from Discord. What are the similarities between this AI bubble and the .com bubble? I heard instead of mortgage-backed securities, it's being packaged in insurance from all the CapEx spend. Thoughts?
There's been some interesting discussion about that there's actually more debt off the books than on the books. We're talking like over $1 trillion of additional debt and spending completely off the books of the public companies that are taking this debt on. So I mean, I think people were familiar with a lot of Meta's SPV shenanigans that were off the books, but if you add up all of it, it is quite large. And so
Sorry, for the user in NSFs, that's over 200 NSFs.
yeah, it's a lot. It's like one Department of War.
Yeah. Yeah, a pentagon, roughly.
Yeah, one Pentagon, 1.2 pentagons. Yeah, so it's a massive amount, and I think that was the second part of the question. But the first part of the question is what
are the similarities between this and .com?
So obviously this is its own situation. I would say in general, you never want to try to reduce some unique event to some other unique event to try to make a prediction on what it is and what it's going to be. But there are a lot of similarities, and I think that there are also some notable differences. So obviously the similarities are the speculation and the fever and the mania. Also the rate of growth in spending and in build out is somewhat similar. I would say things that are different is depreciation is much more aggressive this time than the last time. So I think post.com, the big issue was just growing into what was built. There was a timing mismatch in that we built out infrastructure that would take us, I mean, decade well over a decade, if not multiple decades to grow into. Here, we're going to be dealing with the depreciation of goods, right? I mean, you if you have a fleet of chips and you're running them 100% or as close to 100% as you can get, training models and all of this and that, you could see 9% of those chips fail in a year. Like catastrophically fail, you have to throw them away or recycle them, right? You can't salvage it. because the connections, some critical connections somewhere in the chip have thermomechanically failed over many cycles. Like literally something cracks, you can't fix it. And so you have
Isn't
this
the
rapidly
taxpayer the one eating shit on the depreciation?
Not yet.
not yet, but I'm assuming at some point they're going to try.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What
So what do you think
shit.
Sam Altman's doing going to the White House?
Well, no, I mean,
So
like
there's
they're
not,
buying
like-
these and saying they're assets, which means on their taxes they're going to depreciate the value of those assets and thus pay no money in taxes. I mean, not like they're
see.
making any money anyway, but
Yeah.
they're gonna depreciate that against any revenues.
Well, so it's not like we'll be saying in 20 years, how are we going to use all the remaining H100s that we have? So that's very different from .com. Is much more aggressive deprecation of the stuff that we're building, which is kind of scary. What else is different? The .com bubble was predicated on a nugget of truth, in that the free and nearly frictionless sharing of massive amounts of information across the globe would be revolutionary, and indeed it was. Whereas this one is, the nugget is just fraud and lies, where the entire AI industry from the beginning,
It's the free and frictionless theft of IP, okay?
it started with it's built on the theft of IP and sold as the thing that's going to do all this cool and amazing stuff that it can't do, and it never will be able to do. And so in that
So it's
sense,
the opposite. It's the trying to restrict information.
well, it is
encapsulate it.
It's just grift. It's
Yeah.
just crypto. And so people love to compare it to the .com boom. I think in part because they cannot emotionally handle the fact that it is much more like the crypto bubble than the .com bubble.
It stings. It's a painful thought.
Well, what we have a recession, if not a depression, if it doesn't work, and it's not
I
going to
know.
work. It's not going to work, and people just refuse to accept that. And so we've entered a state of delusion that, I mean, I was a kid during .com, so I didn't care about any of that stuff. I just wanted to read about the next video game on the internet on some stupid GeoCities website that had terrible MIDI files playing and weird weird animations.
Trying to score that Playboy mag from your parents' bedroom too.
But I just don't, and I know there was a lot of mania and a lot of people doing stupid things, but the level of delusion about the technology itself, I think it's just another level here. It is almost religious in a way that I don't
It is
think
a cult.
.com was.
It's a cult.
And that, like, the religious aspect of it is more of a scary thing. It's gonna, so I just feel like this is gonna end up as more of like a Jonestown ending than a
Than a Christianity ending.
than a railroad build out ending, where we just, some railroad companies go bankrupt and other people use the railroads for things. It's gonna be ugly. There's gonna be nothing left when it's over, because it's all built on lies and
depreciating assets.
And yeah, and then there's also some fun similarities. Like one of the hallmarks of the .com bubble was the financialization of things. So they had, I mean, you remember when like they were talking about like energy, it was, what was it, Enron was like trading energy,
They were trading weather
futures, that's what it was. And
Mhm.
guess what they're trading now? They just recently have started coming out with compute futures, whatever the fuck that means. You can trade future compute, speculate on how much compute will cost later. You've got all of these special purpose vehicles. You've got the financing, right? The vendor financing. So Nvidia is now basically giving chips to neoclouds for zero down for a portion of their future revenues. So all of those hallmarks of like late stage trying to pretend that the demand is real and durable are all there. But if you are convinced like I am that it is all built on lies and misleading statements and grift, and that is fundamentally going to meet reality at some point, you just gotta kind of wait and watch it all happen in slow motion. And then when you're there to say, when everybody starts saying, who could have known? I will
You will feel like you're still in crazy town. It'll never
I will
stop.
scream into the void, and nobody will listen. Be like, nobody warned us. Nobody could have known that this would have happened. It was supposed to be the future. Everybody believed it. I'll be like, I was saying it for 2 years, and then I'll just be like a ghost that nobody can see in the room.
I'm not going to mention that it's been more than 2 years at this point.
Oh my God. How many more years are we going to say the word agentic?
Enough times to where you are like standing on the stool with the noose around your neck when finally OpenAI declares insolvency, and you'll be like,
yeah,
I'm okay.
It's a goddamn for loop. It's not an agent.
It's still can it schedule your trip to Reno so we can go to that really cool Taco Bell?
No, it cannot.
God damn it. Okay. Well, yeah, I mostly agree with JFresh. This, and in terms of packaging up the AI debt, it just happens with debt, so I guarantee it's happening. Now, how they're rating that debt, that is an interesting topic in itself. But without any visibility into that market, there's not much we can really say about it. So,
yeah, there's people talking right now that a lot of insurance companies are buying stuff. Which, I mean, if you think about like Google and their 100-year bond, who's gonna fucking buy that?
Oh, AIG, no doubt.
Yeah, it'd be like a mega insurance company, somebody who expects to continue being a going concern for 100 years and can plan. So like life insurance, people who are already like looking at like 40 years out in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, there is a place in that portfolio for some guaranteed returns over 100-year time span. Right.
Well, yeah, but
there's a place you could make a case for that. Very few other places have like this burning need for 100 years of guaranteed revenue, right? I mean, most people aren't going to even live that long,
right?
So
yeah.
it has to be a company, and it has to be pretty large, preferably one that has existed for enough time to think that it will continue to exist. So, yeah, I think it's going to get packaged up in all of these various insurance type products and then sold, just basically chopped up and sold in as many little places as possible. It's like spreading shit.
Well, so you could lever up on it too. I mean, that's the name of the game, is with all this shit, is how can you get, because 5% on $1, not that great, but 5% on $1,000, oh yeah. So I mean, that's the whole name of the game with these debt instruments.
5% on $1,000 sucks.
Well, no, but $999 of that isn't yours.
Yeah,
but you're still collecting the returns.
I see.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
God, your version of investing and where it gets exciting is drastically different than mine.
I mean,
hey, dude, I'm a bond vigilante.
I made 94.1% in my shit account this week with our new
awful
stuff.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah,
Dork's the kind of person
94.1% returns
on
the thing that you're not helping us build.
I'm sorry, man.
Dork gives out toothbrushes.
I need you back.
I need me back. Fuck me. Okay. Next question's from Discord. How about DOW's indefinite pause on CMMC's Phase 2 rollout and whether it's related to the Iran conflict and Needledick's inability to get toys to blow up?
The fuck is a CMCC?
CMMC, two M's, two C's. Two M's surrounded by
CMMC.
two C's. It's fun to stay at the CMMC.
Who writes
Like that?
all
People
in
who
like
people
when
who
you
ask
ask a
AI
question,
like give them a
Hold on,
question for the
hold on.
show.
when you ask a question, don't fill it with acronyms.
That
Just
nobody
spell
knows.
out the acronyms.
Central Maine Medical Center.
Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification Phase 2.
Oh, I know which of our single viewers this is.
Okay, so what's CMMC then?
Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification.
It has a Phase 2?
I don't know. I clicked on this. It's the Chief Information Officer at the U.S. Department of War, and I clicked on it, and it just it doesn't even say what it is. It's just a video, and I don't want to watch a video while we're podding live.
Yeah, I know. The viewer would hate that. Us just sitting here in silence watching a video. How about instead, I say something like this. Don't use so many acronyms. Help us out, man.
A line, okay.
So I don't know whether it's related to the Iran conflict and Needle Dick. Probably, but I don't know anything about this. Clearly not that important if I haven't heard about it yet. Because I usually get my news from my grandma. Now that she's a highly sophisticated investor, she tells me current events. All right, she knows what's going on.
That's cool.
She still hasn't bought GammaStrike though.
I see. Okay, so I think I'm going to do my best, but I think I can summarize this question. So basically, the Department of War, the government in general, right? I mean, everybody's familiar with like classified and unclassified information, right?
Mhm.
Unclassified information largely you can distribute, right? Like the president will be like, "Oh, I'm going to unclassify this document," and everyone can see that we've been dissecting aliens for 50 years or whatever the UFO stuff is, right? So you unclassify it, it's, general consumption. Classified, you don't get to see it, right? Only people that need to see it, who have clearance and all of that, can get access to it. You need to know it and you have clearance to access it. But there's a whole suite of classifications in between those two. And one of them has been growing a lot in the last decade or so, I would say. It's called controlled unclassified information, or CUI. So it's unclassified, but it's controlled. So it's like you don't need a clearance to see it, but you still have a need to know. You still have to have, some certification to see it. You have to be a U.S. citizen to see it. There are a couple of other requirements as well that you have to see this information. And more and more, a lot of these agencies are like labeling things CUI and trying to be more protective of our IP. Interestingly enough, at a moment when, as I said, the enemies of the state, OpenAI and Anthropic, are taking as much information as they can and giving it away for free to the world, or for a fee, a small fee.
No, they're paying people to take it from them technically.
But what happens is that all of the CUI is out there at like basically universities, at government contractors, at subcontractors of all of these people, so various companies and things, who maybe aren't necessarily like that stringent about or that knowledgeable about all of the cybersecurity requirements that would go about making sure that you don't have a data breach, or that you don't get compromised. And so it looks like this CMMC program is essentially a series of actions and best practices of some kind to ensure that people who have access to CUI are appropriately protecting that information. as far as all of this goes, if it's the war that's delaying it, I have no idea. It's probably that a lot of shit is labeled CUI that doesn't need to be labeled CUI, and it's slowing everybody down. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody's sure. It takes so long to determine if something is actually CUI. What happens is everybody just assumes, like, oh, I'm working on a project that contains access or the creation of CUI materials. Therefore, I'm just going to assume that every activity and every output from this project is CUI because it's better safe than sorry. And I don't have the time to send in a request to see if this PowerPoint slide is CUI and wait a month to get a reply back for everything. So I'll just assume everything's CUI, just operate that way.
That's what I'd do.
Right. Well, that's what everybody is doing.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like just to be safe.
Well, the burden there though is that it slows everything down, right? Because
you're just backloading all that shit, right? Like you just basically
you
what
might
you're doing is you're kicking the
be
can.
in a situation where you need somebody who doesn't have CUI classification to do something for you, or to act on some information in your project that they should just be able to do because it's not CUI. But instead of just doing it, it takes a month, right? At that point, you're forced to determine if it's CUI. And then there's all the work to create all the infrastructure to actually lock everything down, which is very expensive. So it just drives up costs. It's the classic compliance. It's the burden of red tape. It drives up costs and slows everything down. So I don't know why it's delayed, but it's good for me.
Probably delaying it to buy more Patriot missiles because they need to at least.
Well, it doesn't cost the government anything. It costs the external like the government will. I'm assuming the government is up to speed on everything, but making the challenge is that the Department of War and other people have to make sure that all of their contractors and subcontractors are compliant, which is a massive overhead of like, how do you ensure that they're all how do you check?
That is an extremely dry topic, but you seem to have made it somewhat interesting. I'm very impressed, Jay Fresh.
That's as far as I can go to keep it interesting. There's nothing more I can add that's worth saying.
Well, with that, why don't we move on to something that's a little more entertaining?
Dork's butt.
Stupid bets. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose?
Oh my god, it looks like you guys all lost horribly. Not gonna lie. I did not shit my pants once.
I mean, Jay Fresh
did your tummy hurt?
Nope, not a bit. Not a single bit of tummy ache.
Do you virus that's not even present in water?
But do you know somebody that got tummy troubles from it?
What, from the water? No.
Yeah.
So here's how the logistics work: is we show up with basically a case of bottled water per person.
Oh, you didn't even go in the water.
We did go in the water, but I'm not like sitting there like gulp, gulp, gulp. I'm like in the water. Like,
did you go up to
your
ears
butt
in the water?
Well, my butt got absolutely thrashed, but it didn't get a disease.
Mm.
Yeah, just
how
got
many
pounded.
diseases have you screened for in your butt since last Friday?
I have no symptoms. Why would I screen?
What's the dormancy period on these?
Usually these sorts of like waterborne pathogens is
They're
like
usually
really
pretty
fast.
immediate. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're shitting your brains out like within the hour.
So Dork finally won a stupid bet.
I didn't bet. You guys all lost. I guess that makes me a winner in some way, but it's like a Pyrrhic victory. I don't really like it.
You're not a loser, Dork.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I didn't win. I just didn't lose. Well, what's the next stupid bet? What are we going to bet on? We got a bunch of earnings coming up, so we could bet on more CapEx fund with these other companies like
What do we
Meta
bet if the Fed hikes?
Ooh, is that what you want to bet on?
Seems fun.
Are you trying to do that mind game anti-bet bullshit?
Oh.
So, okay, I want to throw a little wrinkle in.
No.
I did see something that said that the U.S. Federal Reserve mentioned that they think that Japan needs to hike.
Because they're going to hike and break the spread.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking.
Interesting.
I'm trying to give myself a reason to make a stupid bet instead
Or
of
is
just
it
saying
because
flat.
Japan's currency is going to go into the toilet? Someone's going to intervene and trillions of dollars are going to get short squeezed.
I'm liking this more and more as I think about it.
It just seemed I noted it as being really odd that the Fed would be like, "Hey, Japan, you should raise your rates," because usually they usually don't talk about it because they're in cahoots with them, working closely. So why would you publicly say that? To kind of it's just like if you're working with them behind the scenes and it's in your best interest to not explicitly state what's going on there, why would you make an explicit statement one way or the other?
I am liking this. I'm liking this bet. It's going to be so stupid. I'm so in. Let's do it. I'm ready. Are we going to do what is it? Like cut, pause, hike for Japan? Is that what we're going for?
Well, no, I mean, we have to do, is Japan as well happening this week?
Yes.
Japan decision. Oh,
Japan
yes.
and America. Ooh, do we do an America, Japan? Does America cut and Japan hike at the same time and the market crashes?
No, I think we both hike to maintain the spread.
Okay. What about you, Girk? We're already making these bets.
Yeah, okay, so we have to bet for both. My bet is we're both gonna hike.
Double hike, ballsy.
Same amount. Whatever we do, they're gonna do.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the stupidest side. I'm gonna say America cut, Japan hike, because I'm gonna steal it from Girk.
I say hike and hold.
Who hikes? Who holds?
U.S. hike, Japan hold.
Wait,
And
nobody bet that the U.S. would stay flat. Dork, do you want to change your bet?
You know what? Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, I'll say U.S. flat, Japan hike, just to be more reasonable. Even though these bets are really stupid.
That's a pretty reasonable bet, actually.
Yeah. Although it'd be really shitty for debt markets, but let's fucking go. Can't wait to see the U.S. mortgage rate go up after that.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of All Stars in the Books with another Dork's little back end.
Do you want to spend another hour talking about CMMC and CUI and
No,
have our listener die of boredom?
No, our listener who asked this question is probably going to criticize me for my response, and I'm going to have a conversation about it anyway. Because I'm pretty sure that the listener that asked this question is currently one of my regulars in Marathon.
Oh, well,
I'm
have fun
positive
with that.
that is a correct assessment.
Considering what it's about, I think you're not far off the mark there. Well, it's been fucking over 2.5 or almost 2.5 hours. Let's fuck off, huh?
Yep.
All right.